What is going on, everyone? I'm back with another video. So today is another DIY video, and this time it's actually kind of a time-lapse full video of how I made one of these friction sheets. As you can see the side-by-side comparison here, the newer one, which is on the left-hand side, well now is the only one on the screen, is a lot better looking. It's slimmer, it's smaller, it's lighter, and the stitching is a lot better done. I didn't dye the inside this time because what's the point? Once the tools are in, you'll never see it. But this one has a much better shape and the lines are cleaner. And I used a more higher, a more stiffer thread. So it is very, very heavy duty, this one. And right now it's still kind of new, so tools are kind of hard to get in and out of the holster here, because again it's all held in by friction. So here it is. I begin by again wetting. Actually, I soaked this piece of leather until I saw no bubbles coming out of it. I kind of line my tools up to see approximately where I want it, and now as you can see I'm just gonna do one tool at a time, because it's much easier to kind of start shaping one and then putting the second one in. Now the leather is really like sopping wet basically, and I'm just trying to get the basic outline and shape of the wingman and the flashlight here. You can see I have a staple gun there. As you'll notice later on, you're going to see nails in here holding the leather in this place, because apparently my staple gun sucks, because it was able to fire 2 staples into the leather and then it kind of quit on me, so I started using nails instead. Anyways, I got my little leather. I don't remember what that tool is called, but you use it to etch leather, and it's kind of nice because it helps me draw those lines in really easily. And I'm using the bone folder right there, which I use to make my journals with, and it's very helpful in this situation as well. So here I'm cutting out some relief cuts here so the leather can mold around properly and get stretched out properly, and there you go. I'm just hammering some nails in there. So here's a nice little time lapse of me just kind of working away at getting that. At first I didn't really know how to finish off the bottom part of that flashlight bit there, and I decided, you know what, I'll just put another kind of a little tube or tunnel there instead, because I don't think I'm good enough to really know how to finish it properly. So just testing the fit and everything at the moment. And while I'm doing this, I'm actually using I'm actually using a hairdryer to dry it. And what I do is I dry it a little bit, and then I work it some more with the modeling tools, and I dry it a little bit more, and then I go back in there, and I kind of basically, as I'm drying and working this, it's creating better. How can I say it? It creates better lines, more substantial, so they don't lose a shape as quickly. Once I solidify it, I dry it out really quickly, so it kind of maintains its shape. So it's kind of nice, and it's given me better results the second time around. So this version 2.0 holster is actually a lot cleaner. And I mean, nowhere near professional, obviously, but a lot better than my first one and my first attempt. So I'm really happy with this second attempt. So this is about 24 hours later. I actually let it dry for one whole day before doing this, and I'm just drawing a rough outline of where I want to cut the shape out, the excess leather that I don't need. And I know I'm kind of eyeballing it, but hey, you know what, whatever works, right? So, and I have to cut that little tube off. So I'm using my really extremely sharp knife off of the wingman there to do it. And I'm just gently cutting around the shape that I want right now. You gotta be very careful though, because I mean, if you slip up here, I mean, you're gonna start all over. So that's why I'm trying to go as slow and methodical as possible. So, and while you're watching this, basically, I've actually carried this sheath for a few days now, and it is very nice. It's just held up really well, and it's quite stiff. So it's wetting the leather and then letting it dry out really stiffens the case up, which is very nice. Here I'm measuring out the back piece along with the belt loop area, which I'll be cutting out in a second here. And I decided to go with a slightly different design this time around. So instead of having the belt loop extend above where you put your tools, because I found out that on my version 1, it was kind of hard to get the tools out. See, as you can see here, since the belt loops can be flush with the tools will stick out above the belt loop, where you can actually get a hold of it and grab on and extract a tool from it. So it's kind of nice there. And I'm just using my own belt, since this is going to be modeled for the belt I wear every single day, and so I'm just making the back piece for it right now. In case you're wondering what that F means, it means front. So, And I had a few, it's a little bit uneven, so I just roughly drew a line, eyeballed it, and I cut it so it's a lot straighter and cleaner and neater. And you can see how well the tools fit in there, and they're actually quite tight in there. So, and right now I'm just tracing out the outline of where the front piece needs to go, and that way when I get it all glued together, I'll know where to cut the excess. See, I didn't actually trim it yet. I'm basically just going to glue it straight to the back piece, and I'll trim it later, as you'll find out in the back or in the end of the video here. Here I'm scratching up the leather a little bit so the glue has a little bit to grab onto. Now don't laugh, this is actually just regular Elmer's glue. I didn't have any contact cement, so I decided just to use Elmer's glue and let it dry for 24 hours and with clamps and everything. And here you go. Here's some close-up details of what the almost finished product looks like. Again, much more cleaner lines, much more stiffer leather, and it fits the tool just like a glove. Really nice. So in this part, it's 24 hours later, and you can see I left a lot of excess on the sides there, which I'll be trimming off later. I'm just drilling my holes for the initial sewing, and I'm going to stitch the middle area first, since that doesn't have to come out, behind. So. And I went ahead and burned the ends. I'm going to add a little dab of super glue there to kind of finish off the ends for me. And now I'm going to start to stitch or poke the holes in for the first part of the sewing. So you notice I poked the holes for just part of the way down, because once you can't close out the back area, because then you won't have any room to sew. So once I get that part done, now I'm scratching out the back area to add the glue there. And now I can sew up the remaining part of the back back loop, belt loop area. I'm working with 4 needles right now. You can see there's 4 threads, 2 on each side coming out, and now I have to be very, very careful that I don't tangle everything up. But it's a very tedious work, but it's highly worth it, And I know I could easily just go and have someone make one for me, but I mean, there's something very satisfying about making your own stuff, and I love DIY stuff, and it's just, it's kind of relaxing to me when I do this. So now I'm just sewing on the rest of the belt loop, so I'm burning off the ends there, and then putting a dab of super glue on there. And here I go, cutting off running my X-Acto knife around the edge here, cutting out the excess. And then later on it'll be the sanding, which is right here, and then I'll be dyeing the edge again. And then we'll be burnishing it so it looks like it's one piece, give it a nice cleaner, smoother edge. So what I'm doing is I'm just wetting the edge with just water, and I'm going to be running my little wood dowel over it to kind of, burnish it. Well, I guess that's the end of the video. So I appreciate everybody taking their time to watching this video. Any questions or comments, please leave it below. Aside from that, take care, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.